fucking cold. Oh, shit. Holy shit. Half of London is driving through right now. Alright, let's go ahead and do it a little bit. Ah! It's cold. For some shoes on Amazon. Maybe I can get some. Something over 20 pounds. Let's see if my brother wants to send more money to get some shoes. He should be getting some money back on tax time. I think he should be getting some money back on tax time. If he knows how to do these taxes, I don't think he knows how to do these taxes to get some money back on tax time. I mean, you shouldn't pay anything, no fucking taxes and shit. All the fucking checks that the government is mailing with the COVID stuff, I don't think you should pay anything. It's fucking cold. Yeah, so the photo editor on this A52 is broken now. Cannot edit. Cannot edit anything. It crashes. Crashes on updates as well, or it doesn't change the image. Notice with the update is that you will, save the image, but it stays the same. Yeah. So you can apply an update, and you can make changes to the image, but the image stays the same. Some weird shit going on with it. I gotta look at it and see what's going on. Gotta do a photo editor reset. See what's going on with it. It's broken. Apparently they can still get into the box. There's no way to do that remotely. Don't think so. Apparently they must have grabbed the phone. I don't know how the fuck they're getting in there. But there's no way to get that, no way to make that kind of change to the photo editor without getting into the box. And there's no fucking way you can really make that kind of change to the photo editor without getting into the box. So, well, let's look at it and see what's going on with it. See what's going on with that. We do an app reset or something. Do an app preferences reset from there. I said there's a problem with this S22 in that photo editor has a mind of its own as well. Yeah, it stays on the same image sometimes it doesn't. If you go to the About section of the photo editor, it might stay on the image when you save it. Don't know why the fuck it does that. What's going on with that? Apparently there's a way to turn it off if you run the service call for activity, because it's an activity when it goes to the next image. If it skips the image that you're on and it shows you what you cropped, that is an activity. So if you run the activity service calls, you can turn it off. I don't know. I can turn off the skipping. When it skips across the gallery to show you what you cropped. You can turn it off if you run the service calls for activity. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty stupid. I mean, it's obviously a fake, fake photo editor. That's what it is. Even the updates to it are fake. So I mean, they managed to ruin the fucking software suite on this locked ROM. I haven't rooted the phone. I didn't root anything. Like I said, the good thing about Samsung phones is that it has a hardware fuse. So anybody that actually roots a phone, it trips the fuse, hardware fuse, and it's not reversible. So, you know, if you, if they attempt to root the phone themselves, it trips the fuse right away. You know, it's not rooted. Didn't root anything. Didn't do anything to it. It's stock. I didn't root anything. You know, it's stock fucking ROM. So the photo editor right now is broken. I can make GIFs. I can't edit the images. You know, so like I said, there's various ways to try and fix it. I'll try it now and see what happens. If not, we'll do an app reset. We'll do maybe even a phone reset. I noticed they fucked up the SD card as well. The SD card does not read at full speed, so I can't delete stuff at full speed. I can't copy stuff at full speed. They did something to the partition on that SD card. Don't need it. I can format it right now. You know, I can format the SD card right now if I want to. You know, it's not. I don't have anything on there that I need, and you know, do my backups at the SD card. But it's the fact that the photo editor is broken tells me they flashed something to the phone. You know, phony ROM that has a broken photo editor. So I haven't seen that before. This is new. That's what it means. There's no way to do that remotely. Yeah, it's not possible to do that remotely, not that I know of. You know, if the photo editor is broken, they flash something to the phone. That's it. You know, there's no other way to do it. It's you know, pretty obvious. There's nothing that you can do remotely to that photo editor to break it, unless you flash something that's broken. And that's what they did. Anyway, go ahead and get to sleep a little bit. Sleeping time. Go to Microsoft a little bit, do some uploading, some fast uploading. Now, the settings app on this A52, believe it or not, seems to be more secure than the one on the S22. The S22 on Android 13 has some serious fucking issues. That, especially with charging. There's something going on with the charging on the S22. It's still fast. It's still fast, you know, 25 watts. I say it's 22 watts. You know, it's there's something seriously wrong with the settings app on the S22. Something is going on in there. Nothing works. I've tried everything. Tried everything I can try. But like I said, the service calls for activity with the photo editor. Yeah, if let's say you use the photo editor and you run the service calls, that can make some changes. It's temporary changes, yeah, until you restart. Let's say you're doing something with the device care fast charging toggle. Run the service calls when you do that. It makes some changes. You know, it sped up fucking charging on the A52 2 days ago. I was getting 3,000 milliamps at 90%. Yeah, because I was messing around with the permissions and the toggle and the activity service calls. And all of a sudden I was getting 3,000 milliamps at 90%. See, so the activity service calls will coincide with whatever you're doing on the screen. Now, are you using the photo editor? Run the service calls and find out. Are you using device care and are you playing around with the toggle for fast charging? Run the service calls. See, it corresponds to service calls, kind of correspond with whatever you're doing on the screen at the time. Yeah, so yeah, I mean it's interesting. It's interesting, you know. You gotta look at the photo editor now and see what they got going on. Alright, I'm downloading a little bit of YouTube. See if I can squeeze a little bit more. What the fuck is this thing downloading?
no sense of self-control. We jump over to the Queen, and I'm not sure whether this is supposed to be artistic or not, but if anyone can explain the point of this scene, help.
I just need to stay alive.
Yeah, that was it. We cut over to a person who just goes, I hope I'm not dead, and that's it. I know fast cuts are done to hide that an actor can't fight, but it doesn't work to hide a terrible script. But her puppet mage is out here desperately trying to find something, and he is incredibly thorough in his search. Yeah, he actually picked up the books with detective skills like that. I'm amazed you haven't found it already. But just when he's given up and he decides to walk away, we get quite possibly the creakiest floorboard in all of existence. Oh, I guess it must be hidden under the floor. That has to be the crappiest hiding place you could have come up with. You didn't even bother to move the bed over it. Make sure it doesn't creak and cover it up seems like the most basic of things for any kind of hidey hole in the floor. But also, he's a mage. Put some magic on it. Because at this point, you deserve to lose your alethiometer.
You're merging of elf and beast. If you can do it, it can't be you. It needs to be a warrior, not a mage.
Why? That seems entirely backwards. A mage can absolutely annihilate some guy swinging around a piece of metal. And so a super mage is going to be way more powerful than a super warrior. You thought the insect was strong before? Imagine the insect casting spells.
One of us.
Stick to your plan and destroy the monolith.
Why aren't you saying anything? No one tells them their plan is wrong or stupid. Instead, it's just like, you do realize if you're doing this, you're going to die, right? Who knew turning into a massive evil insect would have had consequences? I mean, I would suggest if the fate of the world involved turning into a massive hulking warrior, then you should probably choose the big massive warrior, not the tiny little woman. But at the end of the day, it's very hard to argue against this.
Transformation will be long, beyond painful.
I guess the plan has its positives. Is there a Colosseum nearby? You could sell tickets.
This is my destiny.
But they need various different things in order to do the spell. I actually think this is put in because it's one of the few things that the showrunners actually know about the games. Oh, you pick herbs. They'll love that. That'll be so nostalgic. Well, also a handy excuse to get them to do feelings in hallways.
This can't be you.
Has to be me.
Please let it be her. The more you try and force your audience to like a character, the more they're going to dislike them. So this is just a nice upside. There's just some people in the TV show that need to be brought down a peg or two. Welcome to the peg, and if you think I'm being harsh, just wait until episode 4.
Some child with a sickness babbles some prophecy nonsense.
It was nonsense when Beast didn't exist.
That is no way to talk about a dwarf. I know she's insane deluded and thinks a hammer's talking to her, but Beast is going a bit far, don't you think? But she says, no, it has to be me in the mists. I remember burning a family alive, so I've got to atone for something. Like, at least you're holding yourself accountable for the first time in your life. It's a shame that some mist had to guilt trip you into it, rather than just your own memories and feelings about it. But, you know, it's nice that you're finally doing something rather than just going around a load of pubs getting drunk and singing.
It wasn't even the worst of what I did for my clan.
We've all done unspeakable things in the name of our clans.
Look, I know you did the Queen, but I didn't think she was that bad. And surely she gets some points for being an actual princess, even if she is a deranged lunatic who wants to take over the world. But then again, I can fix her.
I thought sharing my music could fix what I did.
How? Not even that good a song. I think we've all learned if you travel the world spreading crap music, you actually end up doing more damage. Just look at the Spice Girls and Justin Bieber.
But it will never be enough. Sacrificing myself is the only way.
Yeah, she will never be able to sing enough to make up for burning a family alive. I don't know why this has to be said, but at least her current plan has some significant upsides.
No, you bring so much hope to this world.
That's true. I never felt more hope for this show than when she said she was going to sacrifice herself. But he says, no, you can't do it, and suddenly we get this. Yes, in episode 3, a plotline just springs out of nowhere. If in episode 1 and 2 there was some kind of hint that they were going to get together, they actually liked each other, then maybe this could have been earned at some point, but instead, no. It's almost like we missed 2 episodes where they were supposed to be getting into a relationship or something. Or maybe she's just after one last roll in the hay before she gets yeeted off the plane of existence. That is also possible. But back in the cave where we've gathered the heart, looks like a weird coral reef from me from the Subnautica game, but this is what we're working with, folks. She lets everyone know that she's going to take the elixir and turn into the monster, which is weird considering she already told them she was. Look, it was 90 seconds ago. The audience might have forgotten.
You know I'm probably dying tomorrow, right? So where's my f***ing weight, you sad bunch of horsens?
If we're celebrating, I'll drink to that. So then we get a really long scene where everyone's celebrating her imminent demise. I can't blame him.
Awake!
Oh, bless her. She's not been that happy since she found out Tom Cruise is shorter than her. Now, for some reason, she had a sort of local patisserie setup going on in her cave. I don't know, don't ask me. She simultaneously got a hole in the roof, so when it rains, she has to move, combined with this.
Because I live in the foxy woods don't mean I got to forsake the trappings of civilization.
That's exactly what it means. That's why you've got a hole in your roof and don't have a door.
Drink with me.
I hope she's trying to get him pissed. I know he won't say yes in his current state, but if I lower his inhibitions, this is 2022, I thought that wasn't allowed. So he's like, if we're gonna do this, I definitely need to be drunk off my face. I know you're gonna die tomorrow, so I'm willing to lower my standards to make sure you can have a good send-off. But I don't want to remember it. So they play a game of cards and little one and this one start flirting with each other. Yeah, everyone's getting off with everyone else at record speed. I know this is a fantasy world, but how is that even going to work? Are you going to buy a stepladder? So most of them are now sufficiently inebriated, and she asks him about the future plan. Look, we need to know where the secret tunnel is.
There is no secret entrance.
It seems like quite a flaw in the plan of attacking a major city with a full army in it.
And even if there was, I'd have found it and shut it down myself.
Okay, so what was your plan to attack a city with a full army in it then? So make the security of the city unassailable myself. Absolutely nothing can get through. By the way, me and a bard have got a plan to take it down. I can't help thinking you're not the most logical of people.
We'll improvise.
I have a feeling that was the tagline of the writer's room. We've written ourselves into a corner. What are we going to do? I don't know. Improvise. Just make it when we get there. We don't need to worry about the future. It's fine. Doesn't need to make sense. We just need to write that it actually happened.
Every time I think I've suffered the last fool, another lands in front of me.
You can't call him a fool. You You agreed to be part of this disaster as well. She gets angry that she's been lied to and storms off, remembers the massive bounty on his head and comes up with a plan. Back in the castle, and she's congratulating him on the fact that he stole the alethiometer. Again, it's been a few minutes in the show, you probably just forgot he did it, so we've got to remind you before this happens anyway. That might be the first time I've ever liked a Harfoot. When he is not happy that people have stolen his book, she tries to defend him and he just annihilates all of them. He seems pretty strong. Honestly, given how annoying her character is, wouldn't have let her leave myself, but that's exactly what happens. She grabs the book and runs out the room.
Have you ever witnessed a fool turned inside out?
I've not seen it, but I felt something similar when I was watching Rings of Power. But then Harfoot just starts absolutely annihilating him, smashing him into walls and beds and stuff. Before he threatens to lob him over a wall. Unfortunately for him, she's going to get back up, including his sister. He has a simple choice, revenge or save his sister.
Don't.
Oh, I never knew a Harfoot cared. The stupid thing is what happens next when the Queen orders the guards to go and take him. 10 seconds ago, he was in charge and she was submissive, and now she's in charge and everything's flipped just because someone decided to grab his sister.
You've been played.
That has to be the most stupid bit of political intrigue I've seen. Your entire plan was based around I can grab his sister. If that's all it took, I don't know how he's going to lead the kingdom in the first place. How on earth are you going to keep the Queen under control if all she had to do is grab your sister's hair? Back at the party, and those two are getting very cozy with each other, she tells the story of Gwen, that it used to be her lover, and she actually used her ashes in order to make that hammer and take her revenge. Doesn't explain why she went into a pub and just started using it on a load of innocent people after she house invaded them, but, you know, she's a nutter that talks to a hammer. What kind of level are we expecting? This is also why she really hates elves, because she blames all elves for something that a couple of them did to somebody she knew once. I think there's a word for that beginning with R.
Remind me never to cross it.
And if you do, climb on a table she can't reach. And as they're giving stories about previous partners that nobody cares about, suddenly we've got to learn about him and the mage. Oh, went through the mists and she saw the deepest, darkest parts of me. She didn't care. I think that says more about her than you, to be honest.
And she sees all that you have done, all the evil that you've torn into the world, and somehow she sees good in you.
That's because she's deluded. I can fix him! But then after he's done praising the low standards of the mage, yeah, the dwarf falls asleep mid-story, and quite frankly, I don't blame her. I don't know why this scene exists. It doesn't add anything. Doesn't make me care about the characters. It's a load of boring twaddle. You fall asleep during his story. I'm amazed anyone made it through yours.
Promising a life that they will share.
You're not gonna make it happen, Witcher. I don't know why you're trying to force it. But no, we get subjected to another rendition of this again for absolutely no reason whatsoever. You've got 4 episodes. Do something with them.
So stay with me, oh lover. My heart's filled with worry. Stay with me, oh lover. The borders are burning.
This goes on for an exceptionally long amount of time.
The borders are burning, and war is yearning.
She missed the note and they kept it in. Auto-tune it or something, dude. But if she misses the note, don't keep it in the show.
So come to me, oh lover. My heart is still burning.
And he's just staring at her for about 30 seconds with the camera not going off. And he's like, oh, I can't believe she can sing. This is amazing. She definitely has to survive. We can't deprive the world of this voice.
Your unborn is yearning.
I don't blame you, love. It bored me to tears as well.
My soul.
Oh, you missed the note. But we continue to get slow zooms in on his face just to tell, oh, he's really passionate about this song where she keeps missing the notes. This is important, and we want you to know it's important by the slow zoom in we're going to have on his expression. The completely and utterly blank expression on his face. This isn't an emotional scene, but we desperately want you to think it's meant to be. It was at that moment he fell in love with her. She sung in a cave. This is the whole thing about the two of them. At no point has this been earned. This never appeared at any point or was even hinted at in the first 2 episodes. And suddenly in episode 3 we're supposed to think, oh, he fell for her so fast. It was amazing. What a love song.
Stop it, you're butchering it.
Yeah, that's your job. But we get another long drawn-out scene that doesn't contribute to anything. Oh, we all know where this is going. She's giving him the eye.
You have a true gift. No.
You're amazing. What would the world do without a bard? So they start talking about the future. What are his plans when you survive and go off on your own? How are you going to live your life?
I don't have any gifts other than disgracing myself constantly.
That's what happens when you sign a contract to join their show, mate. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know whether to blame you or your agent. But they talk about the princess. He's like, no, what happened between me and her wasn't real. I'm like, yeah, that's because she's a lunatic who literally didn't care when you got expelled from the kingdom. She's then decided to wipe out the whole populations of various different worlds in the future. So, you know, all I'm saying is a bit of a red flag. Of course it wasn't real. But at that point, he makes his move.
I wish we'd been born under the same star.
Smooth. Write that one down, use it in the future, lads. Oh, you can tell that worked. Just nobody has any idea why. So romantic, he said star. And then they decide to be the thing that goes bump in the night. It's not deserved, it's not earned, and I don't know why it's happening, but apparently we're just going to stick it in episode 3 for absolutely no reason whatsoever. If you think that the story's just jumping from one thing to the next and isn't connected in any way, shape, or form, I agree. But she wakes up the next morning and he's not there. Oh, he ditched you in the middle of the night. That's gotta be rough. Look, I know you can pass things doing that, but if you put him in that much agony, what on earth is wrong with you? But of course, he's decided to go through the transformation because we can't have the most important person in the universe sacrifice themselves. What do you think she is, some kind of hero? No, she's far too important and valuable for something like that. He's just a man, it's what he's for.
It was supposed to be me.
Unfortunately, we're just not that lucky, love. And they're like, well, we can't stop it now. We'd give him the first elixir. I don't know why you gave him the first elixir. Everyone had all agreed that it was going to be her, that she was going to transform. And somehow, at some point, he just got all of them to agree. I know you hate me. And they're like, yeah, we don't. We'd much prefer to make you suffer. Quite horrific, really. So he goes through the transformation. He is really looking the worse for wear, although it only goes downhill from here. They start pouring various different potions into his mouth. Seems to like sizzle and burn. I mean, I've not seen a reaction that bad since someone tried to make me eat Brussels sprouts. Yeah, it was very similar to that, actually. And in contrast, we get this. It really is a bit of a jump in the scene. Daylight! But of course, we've got to have the narrator tell us the plot because the show doesn't realise how it can.
Trial of the Grasses began to take its brutal toll. The Empress was about to realise her grand ambition.
But we can't show you that, so we just decided to tell you it. She doesn't realise how ambitious she is, but she's going to try. Why is there an omniscient voice that keeps telling everyone how I feel at all times?
Key to other worlds.
That is some terrible armor. It looks plastic. Why is she even wearing armor in the first place? She doesn't actually fight anybody. We've gone from I'm a figurehead, which is going to inspire the people, to I want to look as if I'm about to crush empires from around the universe. I wouldn't let you deliberately try and look evil, but here we are. So the three egotistical tyrants get together with the book and say, I'm going to open a portal so that we can invade and take over a different realm. Just like the three of them, I guess. If I was going to open up a portal, I'd kind of prepare because I have no idea what's on the other side, but it could be monsters. You even say you're trying to civilize these people. That would imply that you know that there's going to be monsters. But yeah, don't worry, I'm sure the three-man invasion force is going to be successful. Does this face just inspire confidence? Seriously, he looks like Dylan Moran from Black Books. And anyone that knows the character from Black Books, you know, that's not a compliment, because he inspires just as much confidence in me as that character. But he decides to start doing magic by touching an invisible wall. I always find when you do sorcery, mime is a very important aspect of it, and he's desperately trying to control the pillar. Pretty sure that's not meant to happen. Don't worry, dude. Happens to a lot of guys. I mean, personally, if it was me and I was trying to use a new magical device, I would have actually practiced and nailed it before I got the Empress around to watch me do it, but maybe it's just first-time nerves.
This is Foley. We need Mallow.
Wow, you really jumped to that conclusion. He tried exactly once and you're like, well, that guy's never going to be able to do it, don't we? We need the most evil half-foot in history to do it for us. You know, the guy that we just staged a rebellion against? We should definitely bring him back in charge after one single attempt.
If we can't open the gateways...
You don't know if you can open the gateways or not. He's tried once. Give him a chance.
Without new worlds, there's no food.
Oh, you are the most black pill of people. This guy really follows the if at first you don't succeed, skydiving's not for you kind of motto. You've tried once, you've failed, and it doesn't matter. We don't need practice or improvement. Look, I failed once at this one thing. Our entire empire is lost.
We just got rid of him.
There's no reason to even have him back. He only failed once, love.
We'll resist us now, but I'll convince him.
3 minutes ago, you staged a rebellion against him. Then we went away, someone drank some wine and had a party, and suddenly he's going to lead the Empire again. You're changing the plot so fast, I've got whiplash. You could have at least done a montage of the guy trying to activate the pillar and failing repeatedly. He's only done it once.
You choose death over losing face. I'll take care of it.
I don't want you to take care of anything. You haven't even asked your mage to try again, love. I don't think you're a very good leader. And so just like that, in about 30 seconds, we've gone from, let's open this portal and invade a world, to, you can't invade a portal. We need to get back our old leader. I'll convince him. Of course, it means I won't be able to lead the Empire anymore, but that's fine. Oh yeah, there was this bit.
Ready your scouting party.
Why did you not have your scouting party ready before? Did you know his portal was going to fail before it actually happened because you'd read the script and so realised you didn't need the actors for this scene yet?
I'll be ready.
Why weren't they ready before? Back with the mages, and we're still undergoing the transformation because we really need to drag this out for a long time.
How much longer?
That's what I was thinking, love.
You go, I know what it's like to watch someone turn into a monster.
So do I, love. Just look at Hollywood, pick an actor that you like from a movie, go on their Twitter feed and see them turn into a monster before your eyes. Oh, Mark Ruffalo, what would we do without you? But they carry on pouring the black goo straight into his face. There's still this weird acid bubbling and just horrible noise to it. It's ugh. But it does get worse, because now it's time for the actual procedure. She makes all these sort of vine things appear around the heart, which dive into the heart, grow out of the heart itself.
Lend me your power.
I'm doing magic! This is how I do it! Oh, it's so powerful! You want to shake your hands and scream and make people think it's important. I should know, he's what doing these videos all the time, it never works. But those vines will dive back into him, and they just start pumping the evil monster crap into him. I mean, do you think she'd swipe back on him now? I'm just kind of wondering. And just as soon as it started, it's over, and in a scream, he collapses. It's okay, dude, it's very common to just fall asleep immediately after.
He's gone.
Oh, great. Should we do you next, then? You still need to defeat the monster. Give it another go. You're just so strong and empowered. I'm sure it'll definitely work for you.
I'm so sorry.
So you should be. It was your idea. I'm not sure why she's not more angry at you, you know, throwing knives, or she really wanted to make you suffer, singing. There's a lot of crying and tears. It drags on for far too long. I can only apologise for pausing on a cry face. It's not you, it's just very difficult to pull off. That is a rather remarkable vein you managed to pop out your forehead, though, isn't it? Then, just as everyone thinks he's dead, obviously, after all the crying and the wasting of time, never saw that one coming. Yeah, I mean, him turning into a monster was only integral to the plot. Don't worry, you definitely tricked us into thinking that wasn't going to happen. Oh, I forgot about this scene. This one's awful. They've decided to leave during this transformation because they're normal people. I think in a few minutes I'm going to regret calling them normal people.
You lot are made for taking this much pain.
Elves can take a lot more than a wolf can, that's a well-known fact.
Ah, fact.
Yeah! Time for the little bigot to come out. This next scene is disgusting. The ideas contained within it is disgusting, and it is literally just a guilt trip. I don't know if we can understand the analogy, the real world's analogy. We're trying to teach you a lesson. Very few shows have been this purely mask-off about it, to do it so bluntly and so terribly, quite frankly. The most fantasy thing about this scene is that he would actually give a crap about her opinion.
Oh, in fact, we've been taking punishment from the likes of you for generations.
Well, you haven't, though, have you? Because by definition, you weren't around in your previous generations.
Suffering and pain.
Oh, Diddums, do you want a gold star for it? Someone you don't know and you've never met and isn't related to you in any way did something to somebody else who I don't know and I've never met and isn't related to me in any way. Oh, please, this is going to be a great story, I can tell.
Never understand.
Yeah, but it was a long time ago, it wasn't.
Wasn't you?
Yep, that is the main thrust of the argument. He never did anything to you, or anyone you know, or didn't know, or anyone who existed before he was born. I would love for you to tell me how he affected something before he was even born.
Your world is built on our bones.
No, it isn't. And if it was, what's that got to do with him? I know time travel exists in this story, but unless you think he's going to travel back in time and cause it all, I'm not sure why you're complaining at him, you mad cow. Is what he should have said.
One of the ancients buried them to bring fertile bounty to the land. They're sacred. Elves defile them.
So you have some weird belief that, as far as I can tell, isn't actually based on anything like, we just buried these crystals because I wanted a crop. And so because of your weird superstitions, you don't like the fact that the elves have dug them up. Okay, they are theirs though, not yours.
No wonder famine's rife.
As far as we know in this story, those crystals have literally nothing to do with the food production, and she's just waffling her own superstitions. If you want to say that, you should have proved it in some way. You can't just have her come out and say it on a log while she's guilt-tripping a guy, and expect us to treat it like it's science.
You won't find me denying it.
But we should do. We've not been given any single evidence throughout the entire story that what she said is correct at all.
You really believe you can kill the Empress?
Oh, we're just gonna leave that, are we? Oh yeah, I can guilt-trip you for something that happened before you're even born, and you're just supposed to go, I believe you. Your feelings mean a lot to me. No, it's got nothing to do with me, love. I wasn't born. You know what Genghis Khan did? I can't believe you didn't stop Genghis Khan, even though you didn't even exist in this realm. You should feel guilty for acts that I arbitrarily determine are your fault, because it gives me power over you. Piss off. The only excuse for this scene is we already know she's a delusional lunatic, and so nobody should be listening to her because she's off a tree, which was just proven in this scene. But suddenly they realise the Blade Master's no longer there, considering she left in the middle of the night, and they've done the entire transformation and no one went, where is she? Which is a little bit coincidental, that she's only just arriving at the town now. The town which is in visible range. Yeah, she's been travelling all night on a horse, travel maybe half a mile. Also, don't know where she got the horse from, but the city guard ran out to meet her. It's not the strongest of defenses, is it really? There has to be easier ways to greet single people coming into your city. People will be doing it all the time on a major hub. But whatever, I don't know, I'm trying to make sense of this show. She shows them that he's actually a bounty and says, I've got information.
I have information for your Empress.
The information is that she's a deranged bitch. So they ride back in, and we cut to the castle because we don't want to show you inside the city. That CGI is expensive. She gets a huge eyeful at the monster. Now at this point, the Blade Master is being brought in front of the Empress, and for some reason, despite the fact she's got two guards flanking her, still has a sword. She's also Ghost Clan, which got poisoned by the Empress's clan, and so has an axe to grind. But nobody wanted to take the axe off her. Okay, yeah, there's 4 guards there. She definitely can't handle those people. What is it, Empress? Do you think that new armor's gonna protect you from the plastic? She's even holding her sword as she's walking along. She got another dagger there. If she had a throwing knife on her, this would all be over before those two could even move. Maybe that's why they didn't take the weapons off her, because even if you did, there's just a load of swords lying next to you for assassins to use in any attempt. Even if you disarm people, they could just rearm themselves off this anyway. I know you exiled your security guy, but this is taking the piss. Actually, even looking at it, like, there's a sword I want. Think of the damage that I could do with it.
Your markings. Ghost type.
She knows she's Ghost Tribe. She knows that Ghost Tribe wants to wipe them out. Why are we not concerned about the swords?
I thought you were.
I am the last of us.
Don't mention The Last of Us to me. That's coming up soon, and it's going to be hell enough already. We don't need to think about it now, love. This is enough, believe me.
Were it another time, I would have killed you by now.
You certainly would, because nobody took your swords away. And at that moment, this guard behind her starts gripping his sword as if, oh yeah, we actually forgot about that. She's now threatening the Empress, and I didn't even pat her down. I just get the impression that a stranger coming into your city to see the Empress should go through higher security protocols than entering a nightclub. Do you even check her bag for powder or anything?
Wait.
I love it, like, wait, and some people grab the swords, and this guy, he does not care at all, does he? Even if she charged the Empress, this guy wouldn't move at all, and the other guy is standing to attention and ready. This one, I'm just here to collect my pay until retirement. I've got a nice cushy gig, standing in the throne room, guarding a chair. I don't want to fight anyone.
You would have tried.
No, she would have succeeded. I mean, there's 4 people, and she's got a sword. Who's going to stop her? You are a complete moron. Yeah, the closer you get to her, the easier it is. At this point, she could definitely reach you before they even reacted. And no, Because I could reach you before they could react.
I know where Fial's Stoneheart is.
Yeah, she's turned traitor. She's grassing up everybody, all because there wasn't a secret tunnel into the city, which does make sense because you have no other way into the city. I don't know how he's going to improvise.
He's alive.
Did you have any reason to think he was dead? How come the dwarf has all these stories about managed to escape, robbing a bank and all this kind of stuff, and she's like, I don't even know if he's living. You can't simultaneously have instant communication internet where stories travel ahead of the people that actually make them, and then have and not know what reality is. Pick one.
Last I left him, yes.
That's true. He did briefly die after you left him.
And now you're willing to betray her.
You betrayed some family of your own, I believe.
Is that really a good response? What, you're willing to betray your own family while you're a cow as well? It's not the best negotiation strategy, is it? Look, we're all filth, now pay me. But she negotiates prices for the two of them, 20,000 for the log and 50,000 for her toy boy, as well as getting her sword back.
I require 50 of your Golden Empire soldiers to help bring him in alive.
Yeah, because if you really want someone alive, the thing you should do is send people holding swords after them. I don't know, I just get the feeling that he won't exactly go willingly, and then I'm not sure what you're supposed to do after that. Either way, that's their plan, even though it doesn't make any sense, and so they carry it out.
Make it so.
Calm down, Jean-Luc Picard. Back in the cave and he's terrified.
I want to destroy everything.
After watching the show, dude, I can sympathize. But no, she manages to calm him down. I can hold hands. I know you're possessed by a creature of evil, but have you ever considered the power of love? Alright, love, you might be impressed by your chest, but I'm not sure it can control demons.
I'm sorry.
Of course you are. You're a bloke and this is Netflix. I wouldn't expect you to be anything else.
I thought you were gone. Couldn't bear it.
But oh yeah, this is definitely a deep relationship, which I'm sure you all feel such immense emotion for. I mean, it didn't exist 20 minutes ago, but don't you know, these two people are star-crossed lovers from the edge of eternity. Definitely didn't come out of nowhere, suddenly get injected into episode 3, all because we needed some cheap way to try and access your fifis. But obviously, he's been possessed by an evil demon that wants to destroy the entire universe. How could she possibly resist that? What can I say? She loves a bad boy. At the end of the day, what is a lethal white caterpillar between friends? This scene goes on for way longer than it was required to, and then at the end, he loses control. I mean, that can be pretty normal for blokes, but generally, they don't turn into a demon afterwards. Oh, I don't know if I can control myself. Please, you gotta control yourself. You already did. Back with the half-foot in the cell that he made for the other wizard, which is such a great prison, that sorcerer actually escaped. We still have no idea how. It does make me wonder why you don't just escape the same way, though. His sister's signing at him. I'm not turning the subtitles on. This is a visual audio medium. Talk to me. Yeah? And he starts talking about true sacrifice comes from within. I just realised what that meant too late. His half-foot is slipping. You do wonder, why would this evil guy have sacrificed his entire empire just because someone's got a knife at her throat? Like, she's not even his real sister. Turns out, oh yeah, you're actually the key to my power. I had to simultaneously care about you and not care about you at the same time, so that the sacrifice of me caring about you was valuable enough to give me the power, which simultaneously proved that I didn't actually care that much about you in the first place. What can I say? Just because it's a cliche doesn't mean it actually makes sense.
I realised what she meant. Too late.
Yeah, she means you, love. You're just too thick to realise it, even when he actually told you. But the Empress comes in to convince him to join her, despite the fact that 5 seconds ago she led a rebellion against him.
We need to talk.
Okay, but wasn't that obvious when you walked in the cell? What else do you think he thought you were gonna do?
There's no need for this.
You're the one doing it! You literally locked him up in prison, then went to the prison and went, I don't know why you're in here, love. Have you considered just not being in prison? But he says I was the one that built this cell to trap other people, and now it's made me powerless.
But there is a way to be free. Serve your Empress.
It's still stupid that she's leading the Empire. He staged an entire coup to take over the entire realm. He definitely would have had everyone loyal to him, but for some reason, oh no, someone's grabbed my sister and it's all over. It's the most basic and fragile of plots that you could have made for this. No wonder he's smirking at you.
Your little shadow couldn't open the gateway, could he?
Well, that's true, but to be fair, they only allowed him to try once. Maybe he'll get better over time. But she's like, no, we need you. So if you join me, work for me, open up the gates, then together we can lead into the future. I'll give you a title, I'll let you back in your old position. I just need your loyalty.
And reinstate your title, Chief Sage of the Council.
I helped you once.
He didn't.
Look where it got me.
What? What do you mean where it got you? You didn't help her. How can this show forget its own plot? No, you didn't help her. What you did was manipulate her so that she helped you lead a coup, which you then used to control her. And in your own words, just put her up as a pretty thing for people to look at. But you were the one in charge. You made her think that you were helping her, when actually, you were just getting her to go along with your plan. So please, pray tell, if you actually remember the story of your own episode, what on earth does this mean?
I helped you once. Look where it got me.
How do you not even know the lore of a 3-episode show? I could understand if this had gone on for 6 series, you had a really complex thing that you occasionally get things wrong. 3 episodes, dude, he's not asking much.
Oh, we began this at odds.
See, she remembers your plot, so how come he forgot his own actions earlier? How do you have 2 different characters talking to each other about 2 different sets of events when only one of them actually occurred? Just makes them come across as stupid, which is a problem when they're both the tyrants which are meant to be leading an empire into the future.
But look at what we have already achieved together.
I mean, what? Apart from your eye makeup, what have you actually achieved, love? You wiped out all of the leaders of the clans, and and then for some reason they all decided to join you even though I have no idea why. Somehow you managed to get all the war-hungry generals to make peace to stop a peace so they could have a peace afterwards, even though at the end of it they just wanted war. Maybe if you spend more time on logical analysis rather than painting your own face, you might understand what's going on.
Thanks to me and my vision.
Yes, and I am grateful for it.
All she's done is taken other people's ideas, other people's power. It's like, I'm an empress now. Yes, because you spent your entire life doing absolutely nothing, sitting in your own bedroom reading books, and suddenly like, I can rule the universe. I mean, the only thing at this point that could make her worse is if a certain bard came along and said, you know what, love? You were right. Oh, the foreshadowing.
Why do we find ourselves so far apart?
It's a matter of respect.
All about respect, innit, bruv? You just don't like me because I'm working class and you're the elite, and I've got to lead a class revolution against the elite. Oh, it's horrible.
You see me as a princess to be kept on a leash until the time comes to trade me, use me, or get rid of me.
I mean, that is pretty based off, I'm going to admit. I think he's pretty much covered all the bases there.
And you see me as a lowborn, raised far above his station.
This is how you see yourself.
Okay, but I have a question. Why should anybody care? All that matters is his actions and his future plan and his motivation for doing so. And, oh, but I was born a peasant isn't motivation. Not unless you're actually trying to whip up a story about class revolution anyway, in which case, we have to sit through this pain and suffering.
I see you as a singular genius.
That's because you haven't met many people. You've spent too much time around books. Due to that, you're just impressed by the fact that he can talk back to you.
Capable of so much more than the box my father put you in. Only ask that you see me the same.
But that would mean you were the same, and you'd have to be worthy of being the same. Which means you've just called yourself a singular genius. There'd have to be some kind of reality to back that up, and there isn't. And I can prove that. Just the fact that I've watched the show. Tell me one thing that you have ever done in this show which even proves you even mildly intelligent, let alone a singular genius. You've bubbled from pillar to post, accidentally doing things. And the things you have achieved don't actually make any sense if you think about it. But he agrees to help her because, quite frankly, he doesn't want to be in the cell, and he also makes him helping her contingent on his sister's release, so she doesn't have to stay in the cell either. Back at the camp, they took out Blade Master, who just ran off and ditched them. This is a lost cause. We don't have a secret tunnel in there. She saw that we're all going to die and ran off. Probably the best plan she could have got up with, barring not actually taking the money to act in the show in the first place. Run away, get out at the end of episode 3, job done.
Turns out there's no secret entrance into the palace after all.
Yeah, you probably should have told them that earlier. You know, before you turned one of them into a massive monster creature thing that's going to kill everybody. Work out if you can actually do the plan before you do the most significant part of it with no going back.
And when Fial told
They just didn't even know when they turned him into that thing, that there actually was no way they could properly use him. But at that moment, she comes back, on a horse. I don't know where they got the horses from. Where did the other horse come from? They came through the monolith. They didn't have horses. Where did the horses come from? Did the dwarf have 2 of them? And if they are hers, why isn't there some kind of climbing frame for her to get on top of them in the first place? But she tells them a story about how we need to go down this hunter's track. I found a way into the city. It'll give us cover on the way in, and whatever you do, certainly don't speak to the guy who actually led security for the city. Don't speak to him about it. Don't ask him any questions about my plan. Don't get him to give feedback on what he thinks would be the best course of action. He only led the security of the entire city. It's not as if he has anything to say about it. Not as if he has anything to add.
Smart.
You're amazing.
You look the same. Did it not work?
To be fair, if it didn't work, she'd be lying flat on her back right now, which admittedly she's already done twice this episode, so I guess it's just a matter of timing. But at that point he appears, doing his best I'm really angry face.
The Fjord who emerged from that cave was not the same as the one who had entered.
Thanks for telling me, love, because otherwise I couldn't have possibly gathered myself. I've always wanted a narrator to spell out very obvious things just in case you were too thick to realise it on the way there. It's a 50-minute show, but you think I've forgotten things that happened 5 minutes ago.
The energy that shifted in the air around him was like nothing any of them had.
There's no energy in the air around him. You could actually have done that with CGI and had something like radiating off him if you really wanted to. What even was that meant to be? Oh, I think he's turned into a creature. How should I test it? Lob a dagger at his face. Powers from some kind of weird white monster creature. You had no reason to think he could even stop a dagger flying to his face. What was your plan if he couldn't catch a dagger in the air? He'd just fall over and die. What was your plan if stopping a dagger flying at his face wasn't actually one of the new powers he just inherited? Oh, but just do it again. We need another heart, though. He got his powers from a caterpillar. You don't know whether that could have stopped a dagger either.
Not bad.
Yeah, but what if it had been? What if it'd just been average? What if someone wanted to test your talent and lobbed a dagger?
A little bit. I gotta find some carbon for my shoes. Got some pizza here. There we go.
like basically the thing over.
It's cold right now. I got really late. Didn't want to get up because I knew it's going to be a little bit cold right now. Change. Stays dry.
Yeah.
crazy. Very, very, very cold today. So you see the download is only 500 megabytes from here. And the video is corrupt. So it's supposed to be 17 minutes. We'll get to 10 minutes and it goes, it fucks off because it's only 500 megabytes. It's supposed to be a gigabyte or more. So say it says 1.4. Downloaded 500. So this website here does this. It's only 500 megabytes. It's supposed to be 2 gigs. 1.4. So they all do this. 12 minutes. Let's see. So 12 minutes and we get to 6 minutes. Let's try this. Seven minutes, 30 seconds. So the video is corrupt, but it plays halfway. See? It's from this website here. Some of them don't even work. So it says it's banned in the fucking UK or something. Why the fuck would it be? It's YouTube. You can go watch it anytime. What the fuck does it matter if you download it or not? So, kind of running out of options to download this shit. See, it says something about copyright. Anyway. Don't know what the hell this thing is doing over here. Why does it need that much loading anyway? Is it updating or what? That's gonna work. I don't think that's gonna do anything. Holy fuck. My hands are cold. My feet are cold. It's not that cold out here. It doesn't feel like it should be cold. But yeah, that crashed, didn't it? Yeah, of course it did. Wait for the 852 to charge to 100. Fucking feet up on that different cargo. Issues, I can't find it. game was badly closed. I think they replaced it. I feel frozen. See if they got some carwood over here. So no. I guess I'll go back to bed. Let's go back to bed. Crazy. Pick these whistles up. Oh shit. Oh, it's fucking wet. It's so straight, the shoes are leaking water. I saw a bunch of these homeless comrades with new shoes lately. I don't know where they got them from, but they definitely have them. I don't know where the fuck they got the shoes from, but they definitely have new shoes. They have new shoes. Holy shit. Yeah, these shoes have a very cheap outsole. It's not very thick, so it started leaking within 2 months. Filed down pretty much. The outsole filed down until it started leaking, so that's... Not even that, it's an okay shoe for 9 pounds, 10 pounds. 11 pounds, whatever it was. It's... I also filed down walking so much, it just it keeps rubbing on the pavement. Although I don't rub, don't drag my feet on the pavement. It rubs, it binds to the pavement when you take a step. So the outsole kind of like became more and more worn out until it started to leak. It's fucking cold, man. Stuff. Found a cheap Reebok pair on that was like 26 pounds. Let's see if I can cover that. Oh shit. That's not freezing. There's also on the list with Jeremy Corbyn. Way back when. Way back when I saw him making this. It's a dwarf-looking fella. That looks exactly like Jeremy Corbyn. And he fell off the list as well. So, stuff. And like I said, it's always, you gotta find, I don't understand, but it's they're gonna find this, you're gonna find matches in high places like that, but some of them are not so clear. Some of them are not necessarily clear right away. Good fiber optic stuff. I'm gonna be getting this fat thinner. Hello, buddy. Hello. Oh, shit.